Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we are going to be diving into the blue Bleach set from the Volume 2 that's coming out here on May 30th. There's actually going to be 3 different types of decks that you can build within blue. One completely based around Ichigo and Getsugo and Zongetsu. Also, fair warning, I haven't seen Bleach. Quick backstory, I did watch it way back in the day when it first aired. So I do have some nostalgia for like the intro. Watched like 40 episodes, but I eventually went off into other things, Naruto, Dragon Ball, Pokemon stuff. Anyways, none of that matters. What you do need to know is I have not seen Bleach, especially Thousand Year Blood War. So with that said, bear with me on names and actually understanding exactly why these cards are doing certain things and who people are. I do know that Zangetsu and Getsugo are his sword or something, and they're a person. Regardless, that's essentially what the blue Ichigo deck is playing around. We're here for the abilities in the breakdown, right? Not the lore. We can do that in another video if you really want it. Regardless, though, Ichigo, yeah, we're going to be doing a bunch of draw and stuff. Draw and discard, insane draw power, double attack and stuff. A lot of effects based around discarding cards from your hand, which is going to be really strong. We've got another deck here that's based around 2 action points that aren't actually playing like 2 action points. You can essentially get them down to 1 and then get free plays as well. Completely based around Byakuya, Renji, and Rukia. She's obviously the main card here. And then we also have a third deck that actually looks pretty interesting. I've never seen these guys in my life. Mayuri and the Kurotuchi Corpse. Yeah, as you can see, there's actually 3 different specials pointing you in those directions for those decks because they're requiring certain characters from. But yeah, we'll go ahead and dive into these. If you guys enjoy, drop a like to let me know. And yeah, let's go ahead and start it off. So this Raid Ichigo looks so insane. The draw power in this deck is going to be crazy. So yeah, Raid 4-cost Ichigo, our big card here for the deck. When played, choose up to 2 characters with 2k or more on your opponent's front line. You can drop them down by 1500 till the end of the turn. And so that you can, get some extra attacks off since we're getting double attack on the Ichigo, as you'll see later, and just, extra pressure while reducing their BP is going to be really nice. Also, active main once per turn, so you can pop this every single turn. You can place either a Zongetsu or a Getsugo in its name from your hand to sideline. If you do, draw a card, and then this character is not only going to gain 1 BP with that draw, but he's also going to get, when attacking, draw up to 1 card till the end of the turn. So you actually don't even have to draw, but unless your hand's like insanely full or you're going to deck out, you're probably going to be drawing. And again, you have a special that we'll dive into that gives you double attack on your Ichigos. So you can essentially get 3 draws off with this card. It's going to be crazy. 4 cost, 4k raid. I can see this Ichigo being insanely strong. On top of cards like here, we'll go through them one by one, but real quick, Zongetsu. This is just an example, as you'll see on a lot of other cards. They have this effect where when this card is placed from your hand to sideline by an ability on a blue Ichigo specifically, it has to be him on the field. That Ichigo is going to gain an ability. This character cannot be blocked by a character with 3k or less. So if they do want to block your attacks and they only have characters with 3k or less, especially because we're reducing them, we get extra attacks in. This is just an example. It's crazy how we're going to be getting extra abilities off as strong as this by simply trashing cards from hand. It's going to be awesome. But real quick, I just wanted to show off the special, and then we'll start going character by character here. Getsugo Jujisho. I'm so sorry. Choose up to 1 character with 3,500 or less on your opponent's front line, sideline it, or a new interesting break in the text here. I don't know how I like it. Regardless, you also have this other ability. When this card is placed from hand to sideline by an ability, blue Ichigo, you place a card from your hand to the bottom of your deck, obviously, so that you're not getting an extra trash ability off. Well, I guess it would have to be from a blue Ichigo. Regardless, bottom of deck, and then you get to choose an Ichigo, and they gain double attack until the end of the turn. This is going to be your special for the deck, and it's going to be insanely strong. Still 3,500 removal, which will be nice. And again, as we saw with blue Ichigo, we can reduce cards, still wipe out 4Ks with this. Or give your Ichigo double attack. This is gonna be disgusting. This is gonna be such a crazy deck, I'm pretty sure, if you're piloting it right, and I don't even think you need to go too crazy into it. But real quick, bouncing back to the Ichigo cards, we've got a 4-cost 2 action point that looks very strong. When played, you get to bounce back a 4k or less BP from the front line to your opponent's hand, and then active main once per turn. As long as he's on the front line, you can draw a card and then trash a card. Again, blue Ichigo effect, you can use this to pop any of those abilities for free. He's also got the active trigger. He's a 4k. This is a nice card. The next Ichigo is going to be a 2-cost active main. Place 1 card from hand to sideline. Once per turn, this character cannot be blocked by characters with 4,000 or more till the end of the turn. It's going to be awesome. No trigger, 3k, raid target, great card. There's definitely going to be situations where your opponent just has 4ks, and you might win simply by pushing this card up and them not being able to block at all. So that's going to be absolutely nuts. Cards like this are a menace sitting on the back line, not to mention just being good in general as a 3k raid target 2 cost. So that's a good card. 0 cost Ichigo, and they literally gave him the when played draw and then place 1 card from hand to sideline. So just this card alone is going to allow you to do a draw trash Ichigo effect. He has a draw trigger, so you don't get the get trigger from life, but still, amazing card for Ichigo in this deck. We've also got a Kisuke here, 1 action point, 1 cost, when played, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, reveal any character with no affinities among them, and add it to your hand, place the remaining on the bottom, and then trash a card if you did take one. Keep in mind, again, you gotta trash with Ichigo to get those effects, so this isn't gonna be too game breaking, but again, a great search card. And also keep in mind, I think literally every card in this set, I'm sure it makes sense if you watch 1000 Year Blood War, but every single card in the set does have an affinity. So yeah, this is essentially an Ichigo search in blue volume 2 right now. He has a draw trigger too, which is really nice for a search card, so not a terrible card whatsoever. I'll definitely be running some. I usually like to go 3 to 4 of those, but he has a draw trigger, so I'm sure I'll do 4. And then we got 2 cost Orihime. This is a really good card. When this card is placed from hand to sideline by an Ichigo ability, choose up to 1 Ichigo on your field, and it's going to gain this character cannot be chosen by your opponent's character or trigger abilities until the start of your next turn. So they can still hit them with event cards from hand, but still, what's really nice about this, how I see it, is the double attack when you're swinging in with that. You can protect them from specials or locks from like the yellow trigger and stuff. So that's going to be so nice, because that's the worst part as a blue SAO player. Oh man, this deck's already looking so much better than blue SAO, but blue SAO is still crazy, there's no question. What I'm getting at is the scariest part about blue Sword Art is when you're swinging in. Not just when you're swinging in with your double attackers, but when you're swinging in with like your Kirito, who can swap with your Asuna on the back line. If you guys have ever seen this, essentially you're swinging in to a special before any combos are popping off after that, and it ends your combo string that you were going for. But with this, that's not going to happen. You've got 2 double attacking Ichigos. Doesn't seem impossible to sideline 2 Orihimes if you have the right cards in hand. You're going to be drawing like crazy, so hopefully you do. And boom, your opponent really just has to take your 4 attacks plus whatever else you have. This deck's going to be gross, dude. From what I'm seeing on paper, I can't wait to test it. And then we got 3 cost Orihime. This is going to be our color trigger for the deck. When played, you may return 1 character on your field with 2 or less to your hand. If you do, add up to 1 card with 2 or less required energy from sideline to hand. And she's going to be double energy generating. This is a great card. Like, you can literally keep trashing your Zongetsus or Getsugos or Orihimes even, right? Because she's a 2 cost. Yeah. And it's literally cards, so you can take any card. Oh my god. Where does this deck get bad? Let's see. And then we went over the Zongetsu here. We do have a Chad. He's going to be our generic 1 energy cost when played. Either return him or another 1 or less to hand when played. Because he's our double energy generator for 1. I don't think we're going to need him in this, though. I mean, he could be good for, like, spamming Ichigo 0 costs. But that's kind of it. Don't be shocked. Honestly, he could be good, too, because if you're definitely running Zongetsu as your 0 cost, so, like, there might be some turns where you play him and you don't want to, but then you might have a Chad coming up, and yeah. But again, he's by no means required in this, I don't think. Could be good though. Ganju, our 0 cost active main, switch to resting. He'll count as 2 energy for that turn, and then you have to sideline him. Again, I don't think he's required in this by any means. Then skipping to the end here, we already went over Ichigo's special. We do also have this absolutely top tier card. 2 cost, his name is Zongetsu. Straight up draw 2 cards if you want. Pot agreed, hello. Or when this card is placed from your hand to sideline by an Ichigo ability, draw a card. Dude. That's so crazy. The fact that you're getting all these effects basically for free. Again, this is an action point dependent game for the most part. Man, every time you trash these with Ichigo effects, which should be quite often, it shouldn't be impossible by no means, it shouldn't be hard, you're getting a free draw. That's so crazy. Bounce it back with Orihime. If there might be a turn where you just draw 2 with it, that's strong, dude. Yeah, but that's blue Ichigo. I'm really excited to dive into this deck. Oh, I guess the one other card that looks like it for sure goes in this deck, I should also mention, is our 4 cost Yoruichi. She's going to be a no affinity card and a 4k on your turn. Also, when played, if you've placed a card from your hand to sideline this turn, you get to play a blue card with 1 or less required energy, 1 AP, no affinities, from hand, set to resting on the field. Great card for this deck, no question, no question. And again, you might be able to experiment with some mixing in the blue set, but with how these cards are worded, with what they're requiring to get their abilities off, I would say it's going to be pretty rough to mix. I mean, maybe you could get Rukia in the Ichigo deck, but again, as you'll see, as we're diving into this, this is a very 2 action point dependent deck. But let's go ahead and dive into it. The next deck that we've got here for blue is going to be pretty much completely based around Rukia, and again, the main theme is 2 action point cost cards, which she is not, but our other 2 big cards, Byakuya and Renji are. But regardless, let's go ahead and dive into it. This is the 4 cost 1 action point Rukia. Raid when played. If on the front line, you get to choose a character on your opponent's front line, switch to resting. If there's a character with 2 or more action point, base action point, I don't know if you can ever increase that number, on your front line, switch it to resting, and the chosen character remains set to resting until this character leaves the front line instead. So if Rukia gets pushed back, that'll count. If Rukia gets sidelined or bounced back, obviously that's leaving the front line. But yeah, in general, it's a Rukia freeze. I'm sure it's a reference to her Bankai and all that. Haven't seen Bleach or 1,000 Year Blood War, I'm so sorry. But looks like an insanely strong ability, especially if they're not able to target this Rukia or they're struggling to get rid of her. So yeah, that's going to be really nice. Low-key, Green Toshiro fans still think that is the most broken freeze in the game, but we'll get into that with Volume 2, the other Volume 2 color breakdowns. But yeah, regardless, this is going to be a really good card because as you'll see, let's go ahead and bounce over to the Byakuya here because they actually play very well together. 4 cost, 2 action point color trigger for blue for this deck. When played, choose one of the following. If a Rukia has been played onto your field this turn, choose up to 1 of your action points and switch it to active, basically making him a 1 action point, but again, printed 2. And reduce the AP cost of the next Rukia card you play from your hand by 1 this turn. And then when attacking, draw a card. Very nice. So yeah, essentially you play him for 2. Psych, it's actually 1 because we played a Rukia this turn. Also, this Rukia is now a free raid card. So and then you raid her. After that, you've got your 2 action point on the board. Very, very strong combo. And then we've got Renji doing stuff too that we'll dive into. But yeah, as you can see, this deck's going to have a really, really nice flow to it. And the 2 action points aren't actually going to cost you 2 action points. If anything, they're even less than that. Is because you're getting a free play with that Byakuya. But yeah, so our other Rukias here real quick, because as you saw with that Byakuya, you do have to play a Rukia before him. Not going to be a problem though. 3 cost, 1 action point when played. Draw and then trash a card. If there is a character with 2 or more base BP on your front line, you can just draw instead. Very nice. No trigger, but I don't think we really need it too much. I mean, listen, I'll take triggers all day long, but it's okay. It's fine, it's fine. This is a nice looking card, I can't lie. We do also have a Search Rukia that'll work even better, kind of like flowing us into this string. 2 energy cost when played. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Reveal up to 1 card with 2 or more base AP among them. Add it to your hand. Bottom deck the rest. And then you don't have to trash for this, which is really nice. So, man, it's going to be crazy. Play this. Find the Byakuya. You already have your raid Rukia, hopefully. Play the Byakuya. Because you played a Rukia, you can now do all that stuff. Oh, this is going to be a nice deck too, for sure. And the freeze Rukia is going to be gross. And then 0 cost Rukia here. It's just going to be our add to hand generic raid target card. Also, we do have another Byakuya in the set. He's just a 2 energy generator. Still a really good card to have though, for sure. So you don't really need Byakuyas too much though. Yeah, but I mean, you could definitely run him because this is just a good card in general. Because that's not like a raid Byakuya or anything, just keep that in mind. Anyways, 3 energy, 2 action point, Renji. He's going to be our Nullify Impactor. When played, you may place 1 card from your hand to sideline. If you do, this card is now a 1 action point. Instead, set 1 of them to active. So yeah, again, not really a 2 action point card if you have the cards to trash. With blue draw power, you should hopefully have the cards in hand though. And then active main once per turn. If there's another character on your front line with 2 or more base action points, switch this character to active. So yeah, not only that, but you can play him after everything you just did with the Byakuya into the Rukia, and then now you can just play this Renji set to active on your field as well. 4K, he's only a 3 cost as well too, so there's a lot of situations where you're just 1 energy short after playing a whole bunch of cards, especially raiding off your energy line and stuff, but him being a 3 cost is going to allow you to really get low on energy and not worry about it too much, which again is where this Byakuya could come and play. Once he's set to active, you just need him and 1 other card and you're good to go if it's not a double energy generator. And again, those are not raid cards, so you are not stressing too much about having other names in your deck, but these cards do look pretty strong. So we have another Renji here. During your turn, this character gains 500 for each of your other cards on the front line with 2 or more base AP. He's a 1 cost, which makes him really nice and runnable with a good active trigger. But yeah, on a perfect situation, if you do have 3 other 2 action point cards, he's now a 4K as your 4th attacker. So yeah, not bad at all. This Renji, though, I highly recommend running at least 2 of, maybe even 4, I would say. 4 for sure, honestly. This looks gross if you can find the room. 2 action point Renji. When played, choose up to 1 character on your field with 2 or base AP, and it gains impact. So that's just a game-ending card in general. Your opponent not knowing that you just have an impact boom over GG's. But on top of that, it's a draw trigger, 3K, it only costs 2. This is a really nice card. Again, 4 of, you don't have to, but I highly recommend 2 to 3 at least of this card. But I'm probably going 4, because the draw trigger just makes it so much more valuable. We don't need it till endgame. If it ends up in life, it allows us to draw. I love that. And then we have 0 cost Renji here, 2K active trigger, not a terrible 0 cost. And then that's pretty much it. The last thing we have for the Rukia deck is the 4 cost Haka no Togami. Oh god, I'll cut that. 4 cost Haka no Togame. Anyway, choose up to 1 character with 3K or less, BP, sideline it, but if you have Rukia, you can choose a 5K. Our generic, really good special. Not terrible at all, but nothing crazy like the Ichigo one. That one's doing so much new stuff. And the last deck that you're going to be able to build out of blue is based around Mayuri and the Kurotuchi Corpse. Looks like a very, very interesting deck. They're all doing really new, unique things. This one's very interesting, playing off of your sideline, sidelining your own cards, getting abilities off it. I mean, definitely more of like a purple vibes type of deck, but it looks really nice. So yeah, diving into it here. 4 energy, 1 action point, Mayuri. I think I'm saying all these right, bear with me. Raid, this is going to be our big boy here. When played, choose up to 1 Nemu or Kurotuchi Corpse Affinity. Character on your field, it gains 1k BP and impact till the end of the turn. Active main, if on the front line once per turn, you can only activate this ability if a character on your field has been sidelined this turn. Play 1 blue Nemu card with 1 action point, or 1 blue character with Kurotuchi Corpse Affinity and 1 action point cost from your sideline set to resting on the field. So essentially, active main once per turn. If on the front line, you can literally revive any character that's not Mayuri from your sideline that turn, as long as you've sidelined another character, which is gonna be really, 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 really nice, because that's basically what this deck is doing, is sidelining stuff constantly. So yeah, so you're sidelining stuff, and this card's allowing you to keep the board full, as well as other cards' abilities too, which is really nice. And then he's got the raid trigger, of course, with the 4k BP. The other Mayuri we've got, this card looks pretty gross. When played, you can sideline 1 character on your field with the Kurotuchi Corpse Affinity. If you do, choose up to 1 character on your opponent's front line with the same BP or less, and you get to sideline it, and you get to draw a card. And you're also probably getting effects off by sidelining your own character. There's multiple ways, as you saw just with the raid card, to buff your own character so that you can target higher cost cards on your opponent's front line, or higher BP cards on your opponent's front line. Yeah, this is gonna be a nice removal, because also real quick, diving into the special, we actually don't have a way to remove with our own special, but it is a really nice, new, interesting special. So 4 cost, who gave you permission to yap away? Might be my new favorite special in Union Arena. It is a special, so if it's in life, it is killing something. But sideline 1 Kurotuchi Affinity card on your field. If you do, draw and then play up to 2 blue characters with the fulfilled required energy that you're generating, 1 action point, and then either Nemu or Kurotuchi Affinity from your sideline set to active on your field. Again, essentially, you're able to, in this deck, if you build it right, essentially revive anything that's not Mayuri. I haven't seen 1000 Year Blood War, so I don't know why Nemu is 13 core guard squad. That might be a fun video, learning Bleach through the card game. But regardless, yeah, that's essentially what it's saying. You can revive any character from your sideline that's not Mayuri, and set it to active on your field, as long as you have the energy, and you get to choose 2 of them. So also keep in mind, we've got our 1 sideline abilities from a few different characters. So yeah, you're going to be able to do some really nice stuff with this special, nice little combos. But again, just keep in mind, we're not actually removing characters with our special from hand. Also real quick, the last Mayuri is just our generic 0 cost, add this card to hand from life. Really good, so that we can hopefully raid later on if it is in life. And then we also have our 3 cost Nemu. Again, it is the 13 core guard squad, but she's able to be targeted, as well as the Kurotuchi Corpse cards. Active main, once per turn, sideline 1 character on your field with the Kurotuchi Affinity. If you do, look at the top 4 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 Mayuri, Nemu, or Kurotuchi Affinity card among them, add it to your hand, and place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. You don't have to trash for this, and I almost wonder if they don't put the sideline 1 card in here, because you kind of benefit from having cards in your sideline, you know. Regardless, though, no one's complaining about not having a sideline. So, double energy generator, and you can literally do this once per turn. Sideline a card, search your deck. That's going to be interesting. Getting off, as you saw, abilities and just benefits from sidelining your own cards. And then going down the line here, actually probably one of the best when sideline abilities in this deck is our 2-cost Charlotte. When sidelined, if it is your turn, choose up to 1 character on your opponent's front line and switch it to resting. Just keep in mind you can only activate this Charlotte ability once per turn. By the way, if you ever see this text in cards, because they're starting to pop up more, basically what it means is if you have 3 Charlottes on your field, you can only activate this ability once per turn. You'll see in Union Arena that there's like a once per turn text box for those cards. Those you can literally hit 3 of in 1 turn if you have them. Just wanted to reference that. And keep in mind, if you guys ever have questions about effects in Union Arena on cards, I want to make a video about this specifically. You can pull up this link that I'll have in the description, the official Union Arena English list, and there's actually Q&As on all the cards, clearing up any confusion on effects and abilities. Hopefully most of them have them answered. I believe they do, especially since this is a brand new card. We got sidetracked, but anyways, amazing card, so you can kind of rush your opponent, get extra attacks in, especially if you like they have 2 blockers and you're able to revive 2 of yours set to active, and then before all that you sideline Charlotte to give them just 1 blocker now. Yeah, not a bad one sideline ability by any means. Active trigger 3k. This is going to be a pilot dependent deck for sure. I mean, a lot of these are starting to really go that route where you have to play these in a correct certain way or you're going to mess up. But if you play them right, you're able to do some crazy stuff. Siruki? Oh gosh. Siruki? Sander Witchy? There's no way. Names don't matter right now. 1 sideline draw card. No trigger, 1k. It could be a great 0 cost to run in this deck for sure. Get the 1 sideline ability off, draw a card. I mean, you're probably going to want 4 of her. 1 cost, Dordoni Alessandro del Socasio, maybe. During your turn, if there's another character on your field that has been sidelined during this turn, he's going to be a 3k, gains 1k BP. I believe this will only go up to 3 though, but then you can buff him up to 4 with your Mayuri raid. Active trigger, which is great. Yeah, really good looking 1 cost. And then we have our other 0 cost here, Lupy. When played, place the top 2 cards of your deck into your sideline. She has a draw trigger with 1500, not a bad one to run at all. You get the 1 sideline off, and again, you're trying to fill up your sideline in general, so not a bad card. And then we're going to have our color trigger for this deck, 2 cost Kensei and Rojiro. When played, you can pay 1 action point. If you do, play up to 1 Kensei and Rojiro, this card from your sideline set to resting on your field, and then you can only do this once per turn. So yeah, so if you're able to get 1 or 2 of these into your sideline through blocking or other abilities, and then play this to help board flood, maybe with the special, that's pretty crazy. This and the special can literally get 3 cards on the board in addition to this one, and you'll still have 1 action point. This is going to be a really nice oppressive deck for sure. I like it. And then we have a sight card that you can run, 3 cost Kurotuchi Corpse unit. This is probably going to be a 4 of because it plays really well into the abilities in this deck, as you can see. Active main once per turn. You can sideline a Kurotuchi Corpse Affinity card character on your field. So yeah, you can literally just get the sideline off for free with this, and then switch this card to resting once per turn. Active main. You can only use this ability if a card has been sidelined this turn on your field. All Nemu and Kurotuchi Corpse Affinity characters are going to gain 1k BP till the end of the turn. So yeah, just getting our 3ks and this guy up to a 4k, using this Mayuri card after we buff our cards to target higher BP cards on our opponent's front line to remove. Yeah, this is going to be a very good sight to have. But yeah, it has the add to hand trigger, so just keep in mind you can probably get away with 3 of these if you can't find room for 4, but you definitely want to try to get this on the field as soon as possible. But yeah, not a bad card at all. And yeah, that's literally it. Again, you have the 3 cost Bankai final to run in all of these decks. So, but yeah, that is the Blue Volume 2 Bleach breakdown. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know what your thoughts are on this set. I think Blue's gonna look really strong. Even this one, the Mayuri and Kurotuchi Corpse deck, this is gonna be pretty nice. But I'll be honest, dude, after reading this Ichigo deck, I'm pretty invested, man. Like, I play Blue SAO, I just built it, and this deck is doing so strong and basically the same stuff. I mean, Blue SAO is doing more. I don't want to just compare it 1-to-1 to that, but regardless, this deck looks so good. This deck looks so strong, dude. Oh my gosh. I'm very excited to build it and run it. But yeah, thanks for watching. I really appreciate the support. Drop a like if you enjoyed. Let me know what deck you guys are going to be building for Blue. Let me know which one you think is going to be standing out the most here, because they all do look very strong. But yeah, appreciate y'all, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.